On featuring Elion. She will be playing the game now. There's purring. Nope, this is a completely new event. Forget. Oh well. Huh, well, okay. It's well, obviously named properly because I created it, but yeah, this is stupid. This is actually even worse than it was before somehow. This is very uncomfortable, Ellie. I want to say turn on the controller. I don't even charge this controller that much because I had to go out of my way to turn the controller off.
Good timing, Commander. We got a transmission coming in from the Citadel. Top priority clearance.
Is it the ambassador?
It's not his signature. I think it's from the Council. I'll patch it through to the comm room.
Okay. Didn't we finish talking to the Council?
Commander Shepard, we've received information that may be critical to your mission against Saren.
Yeah.
I'll take all the help I can get.
We've received an urgent message from one of our infiltration regiments in the Traverse.
You mean spies?
Spectres tend to attract attention, Commander, but they are
Ellie.
only one arm of the Council. Special task groups are often a better option for monitoring developing situations.
We currently have several infiltration units scattered throughout the border regions of Citadel's space. This particular unit was gathering intel on Saren.
What did they find?
Unfortunately, the message we received was little more than static. The infiltration team must be in a situation where they can't set up proper interstellar communications. But the message was sent on a channel reserved for mission-critical communications. Whatever they were trying to tell us, we know it was important. Considering your interest in Saren, we thought you might want to investigate this. Find out what happened to our team. The signal originated from the planet Vermeer.
I'll look into it.
The Council prefers not to become involved in the specifics of Spectre activities. We only want you to be aware of all your options, including Vermeer. Good luck, Commander Shepard. We will keep you advised if we learn anything else.
I wonder how Vermeer works in the overall structure of missions. Like if I did Vermeer now, would I be able to go back to my unfinished main quest missions? Or is it possible that I could completely skip Novaria entirely? Not spoilers encounter the Rachni at all, or make any choices regarding them. I kind of doubt that. Like, I imagine I would do Vermeer, and then they'd be like, okay, well, you still need to figure out what's going on in Novaria, because there's like a critical clue to like where you need to go that you can only get from Vermeer or from Novaria. Like, it would be interesting if you could skip those things. Like, I could imagine being able to skip Pharaohs a little bit. I mean, granted, there's the whole cipher thing there, so that's kind of important to the overall central plot. But, like, the encounter with the Arachni, I I mean, for one, it's one of the biggest, most interesting choices you have to make in the main game, at least. You know, say what you will about how it pays off, which I think was I would say it's a lack of combination of foresight, and then I think it was foresight mostly. Like, I wonder how much information there is in terms of like how much they actually had planned ahead for how the Arachni choice would have paid off. I'm not sure there's a lot of information because I haven't really heard anything, and I've like watched Lord Runner. You know, he does a lot of the research, so when he does live streams, and at least at the time that he recorded his playthrough, I don't think there was all that much info. What? Oh no! Nothing. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not talking to you. No. I don't know if you could hear that. Somehow I said something similar to the name of the Echo AI. She who shall not be named, except when I'm trying to turn on like my smart devices. Um, and she's like, "You want me to note something?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "What do you want me to note?" Nothing. And whatever the heck I said next, and then it says, "So you want me to note nothing? No, something, 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 something." It's like, no. I don't have anything to note. I don't know why you think I want to note something. I wasn't even talking. I think it's nothing. I wasn't even talking to you. I think it's or something like that. Nothing. I wasn't even talking to you. Is that what you want me to note? Like, you're not very for a smart device. You're not very smart. But well, yeah, like from what we saw in Mass Effect 3, it felt just going on that and not like, giving them any benefit of the doubt. It feels like they hadn't really planned anything at all. Like they hadn't really thought out what the consequences would be entirely. So, I mean, there's like really two possibilities. Like one is that they hadn't really thought out the consequences entirely, or they got to Mass Effect 3 and they were like, there wasn't enough time, or EA was putting restrictions on other restrictions on them. Because the fact of the matter is, the Rachni are. I think I spoke upon this earlier, and I don't know. I should probably be speaking about it when we actually get to it, but I just feel like processing my thoughts now. If you don't mind, I don't think anyone was watching currently. If you're watching the VOD and you haven't played the game and you want to avoid spoilers, well, I don't know, mute me until I put my headphones back on, I guess. But I'm not gonna go into too many details, but you may have already muted me. Um, this is probably not even the very considering how notorious the choice is and the outcome of the choices or lack of outcome. There is a degree of just it being a complicated thing to do in terms of both narrative and game design, because the idea is that you either let the Rachni Queen live or you kill her, and there's this whole backstory with the Rachni having been a danger to the galaxy before, but now that they were corrupted by Ellie. No, play your face. I'm trying to talk about things. Well, Ellie, you're supposed to fetch it and bring it back. That's what we're playing right now. We're not playing with anything else. We can't. I'm busy. So basically, do you do the Paragon thing and let the Rachni Queen live and potentially become a danger to the galaxy again, or do you do the Renegade thing and just kill her off and uh, yeah. And I think they kind of oversold the consequences of it a little bit, maybe. I mean, it's a conundrum from a writing standpoint, even, let alone a game design standpoint, because basically you have this entire mission where in Mass Effect 3, spoilers for that, where, I mean, where you, one way or another, you're dealing with the Rachni, regardless of what you chose. It's just the details of it, and I guess the outcomes are a little different depending on what you chose here. But at the end of it, you basically kind of have to. It's effectively kind of like Deus Ex Invisible War, where you kind of had to just make the same choice over again. Only kind of worse. But let's look at it from kind of, I guess, both axes. Story and gameplay, or just game design. From a game design aspect is kind of the simplest thing to talk about, so let's start there. From a game design standpoint, we're talking about the way it maybe should have been designed is that if you let the Rachni live, they're corrupted by the Reapers. This is getting into fairly. I mean, I already mentioned this is kind of getting into spoilery territory, so let's just talk about it. They're corrupted by the Reapers, and you have to take them on again, and at the end you have the option to either, it's effectively the same option again. Do you let them live, or do you just, with the risk that the Reapers may once again grab hold of them, or it's effectively the same choice all over again. Only you're just super confirming it now, or do you accept them as allies to fight the Reapers? And that's, I mean, okay, let's maybe backpedal a little bit. Like, basically, the way they could have had it pay off in a way would be to have it so, like, okay, there's basically like one mission you go on if you let the Reapers live, and there's another mission you go on if you, maybe an entirely different mission. It has some similarity, some shared events and things, like, a certain character is part of it, regardless of which mission you end up with, based upon your choice with the Reapers, or not the Reapers, the Rachni. They both start with an R. And you have two entirely different missions, that are mutually exclusive depending on your choice, and that means you have twice as much work. You had to have both of them sort of fit into the overall narrative, and that also goes into the narrative side of things. And only if the majority of players, for example, decided to save the Rachni Queen, which I would assume that people being a little more inclined to Paragon, perhaps more so now than any back when the game first came out. Is it even going to be worth like designing an entirely different mission? Just have everyone either like go for the motion comic thing, or go back for the entire trilogy, just so that it can experience this alternate mission where for if you killed the Rachni Queen. So there's a degree to which is it worth the time and effort and budget and all of that to develop an entirely different mission, or instead have the same mission, only some of the details of what's going on are different. And that's what they did. From a narrative standpoint, there is a bit of an oddity with regard to just the concept that the Rachni are corrupted again by the Reapers. I mean, you kind of know that's a risk when you first do it in Mass Effect 1. But it does feel a little bit like no good deed going unpunished type of a scenario. Although at the end you can still get the final benefit if you. I'm not even sure if it should be a matter of making the same choice over again. It could be, but the fact of the matter is, this is Mass Effect 3. This is the final installment in the trilogy, so that's kind of another problem with redoing the choice. Is that also there is a degree in which it feels like maybe you're punishing the player for making one choice or the other by giving them a different scenario, by locking them out of other content. I'm not sure if that's necessarily valid, but yeah. I don't know what I would do with the whole Rachni thing, Ted, really. That would be kind of better than what they did in Mass Effect 3. Just, regardless of whether or not it is the sole scenario or one of two different scenarios based upon your choice, I do think, like, I guess I need to make it clear, what I'm kind of saying is, like, okay, if we were going the two scenario route, what would we do with what would I do with a scenario where you spared the Reaper Queen? You know, would I do something differently from what, because, again, I don't think I even need to say spoilers at this point. If you kill her, it's just a clone, basically. Um, but argument can be made that that scenario works well enough for saving the Ripper Queen, or the Ripper Queen, the Arachnite Queen. Again, they both start with an R and have two syllables. Um, uh, like, there's a degree in which it feels like a slap in the face because, like, you made the right decision and now you're getting a bad outcome. But uh, uh, at the same time, there's something of an expectation that there could be a bad outcome. So I don't think it would be, and you can still, like, there could be some niggles to make it maybe a little more complicated to, like, actually save the Arachnite Queen, rather than making it just another choice. It could be like, okay, you had to, like, work for it this time, maybe. Um, yeah, I don't know how I would do that particular scenario better. I don't even know what the alternate scenario would be if the Arachnite are just gone. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, I guess I kind of don't blame them for that either way. It just, and um, I blame them to some extent for just a lack of, like, really taking the time to think ahead and really consider, okay, how is this actually going to play out in a way that will be satisfying, no matter what you chose in Mass Effect 1. And that is, creates a significant difference both in narrative and in gameplay. Um, Based upon what you chose earlier. I think that's kind of like the biggest issue. It could not even necessarily be a matter of creating an entirely different scenario, just have a different way that the scenario plays out, more or less. Like, it could even be like, I don't know. Like, it could be like there's a threat. Like, this is one way I could have done it in Mass Effect 3. So let's say there's a threat besides just the Rachni. Um, or something like that. Maybe if you, I'm trying to think of, like, how to balance it out, like, on a difficulty level, I guess. But there could be, like, some other thing going on, like some other danger that you have to face that, it relates to the Reapers. And if you destroy the Arachnite Queen, they still clone the Arachnite Queen, but now, like, they're entirely against you because this cloned Arachnite Queen has no connection to you. But if you saved her, then she still has, like, the Arachnite are actually going to help you out in this instance. Like they're going to help you out, or they're going to hinder you, or something like that. You know, and for gameplay balance reasons, it's not necessarily going to make the quest harder. It's just going to have, you know, you're going to be having 2 different enemy types instead of 1, maybe, for example. I don't know. Anyway, let's actually start playing the freaking game. And now we got a kitty who's grumpy for no reason. I'm sorry, I can't open the screen door. I don't know how much they have the screen door open, but it's hot and humid today. It's gonna be hot and humid until like the middle of next week or so. No. No. Gotta get back to the game, okay? And the controller shut off on so. Took too long. There we go. We spent too long talking about the Arachnai, which we haven't even gotten to yet.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
My legs crossed, but you're still grumpy, so maybe you'll actually be happier this time when. Oh.
After years of poor economic performance, ExoGeni has announced that its research colony on Pharos is finally returning a profit.
That was quick. Ellie.
Discoveries and a
Hey.
colonization effort have finally paid off for ExoGeni.
Get off me then if you're so
Stock rose
if you're
sharply with
so.
the announcement, with investors pleased at this surprising news.
Maybe it's not so much that it was fast as that ExoGen is actually trying to cover up what's going on and.
Hello, Commander.
Show me what you've got.
I'll open the rare stocks for you, Commander. Enjoy.
I don't have any junk. I got to upgrade my pistol. This has a little more damage production, but typically less shields. And no tech biotic improvements at all. I want to keep on going with the Onyx line, but I don't have any actual. all the 5 stuff. Let's see what other vendors are selling at this point. But there's also vendors on Bavaria, so
Commander, it is good to see you again. Would you care to see some of its fantastic items today?
Show me your items.
Oh, this one is pleased to do so, human. You will not be disappointed.
The statue represents what the Krogan used to be. A proud and fierce nation. Now we're just brutes for hire to the highest bidder. We've forgotten our roots.
You are very different from the other Krogan I have met, Rex.
I'll take that as a compliment.
where is the fast travel?
Welcome back, EarthClan. Will you be needing supplies for your return to the colonies?
Show me what you've got.
Most excellent. I am sure you will find something pleasing.
Yeah. Get kind of banana. That's better HC capacity, lower accuracy, and substantially less damage.
Commander, I've been waiting for you to get back. I've got an idea, and I wanted to run it by you.
I've got a lot going on right now, but I can spare a moment.
Great! This'll just take a minute. With so many human colonies being attacked, I'm not sure that one Spectre is enough. What if you signed me on as another Spectre?
Conrad, I don't think that's a good idea.
You'd make a great Spectre. I'd be right there with you, showing the Council what humanity is capable of. I want to be with you, fighting the good fight like you did on Elysium during the Skillian Blitz.
I believe you, Conrad. But there's another fight that needs you.
What? I don't understand.
You know what keeps me going out here? Knowing that people back home are keeping humanity strong.
You're right. I just got so caught up in all of it. I wanted to help. I'll go home. Thanks for setting me straight.
I think there's also a degree to which, I think I've read like kind of an article about why Mass Effect 3 is still like the weakest of the series, and I do think that part of it is really fleshing out what Renegade and Paragon mean. I do feel like if they keep Renegade and Paragon going in Mass Effect 4, or whatever they end up calling it, again, like, they could take some pointers from like my own little chart that I made. I don't think my own chart includes racism as like a renegade trait. It might, maybe. Is this? Yeah, that still helps. It does create a little bit too much of a highlight on my face, but it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. Like, before I had a lamp in the corner there, and it like completely washed out my face. But anyway, yeah, I would say that, like, I don't think that, like, I think the idea of allowing Shepard to be racist is, I'm just gonna go into, originally I was gonna do, like, this for spoiler talk, or at one point, but, like, now I just do this for, game design, or, just discussion, talk, because so I guess if you're bored by it, you can, fast forward until you see me have my headphones back on. Ellie, she doesn't like me discussing things. It upsets her somehow. I don't know. Anyway, I, I, I do feel like, at least in terms of like thematic elements of the Mass Effect series, the idea of cooperation between the races, it's it could be an interesting choice for like role playing a character arc, for example. And I kind of explored it to a minor extent in my previous playthrough, but that was very specific speciesism or racism or whatever you want to call it. It was aimed at Batarians and not aliens in general. And I think to some extent, the ability to have Shepard be racist in this game, if you're gonna kind of have it anywhere, here is kind of potentially one of the better places to have it, just because, again, it can be something of a character arc. Or the only other problem is that you could just be racist and not accept any other part. I don't think it's possible to have a scenario where you don't take any aliens aboard your ship. Because I think there's like a cap of sorts to how many people you can refuse to recruit in the first game. I never really explored that. It'd be interesting in Mass Effect 2 because I think you can avoid recruiting Garrus and or Tali all together in this first game. And minor spoilers, they appear in Mass Effect 2. But they're pretty much staple characters of the franchise. Ellie, I know you want to give your input, but I don't think anyone understands what you're saying except for me. I'm pretty sure she's saying get on with it. But granted, there's no real way to like narratively do that character arc besides kind of just in your head a little bit. I don't know. I mean, granted, so much of the role playing is kind of just in your imagination anyway, but it's really it would be entirely up to you to decide. Okay, what moment turns Shepard around from that path, from that perspective. I'm not sure what. I mean, it could be Vermeer a little bit. But yeah, like I don't think you have like any kind of racism or blatantly racism options in 2, and it's not even really a thing in 3. Like it kind of can't be a thing in 3. Because that's the whole idea of it, is uniting the galaxy against the threat of the Reapers. But anyway, Lily, no! Why do you get so worked up when I start talking about stuff? Ellie, you're... Let's just tell me we need to get on with the game. I think we already looked here and there wasn't anything...
Welcome back, Earth Clan. Will you be needing supplies for your return to the colonies?
I think I'll be going.
As you say, Earth Clan. Good day to you.
Oh, sure, I can return that for you.
Thanks. Hasn't worked well since I bought it.
Hey, are you refunding his stuff?
Here you go. Your account will be credited.
You did! You took his return! Look, I'm telling you, I bought this here. Why won't you return it?
I can't take it back unless you...
I know. Unless I have a proof of purchase.
I need those supplies for my clinic. I can't.
can and you will, or your story won't stay secret for long. Don't disappoint me, Doctor.
Oh, Commander Shepard. I didn't see you come in.
Every time I come in here, I see someone threatening you. Who was that?
Someone from my past. I can take care of it.
I might be able to help you.
I was fired by my previous employer for giving out free medical supplies to clinics like this. They never filed any charges. They just wanted me to leave without any fuss. But somebody must have found out. Now they are blackmailing me. I have to give them what they want. If the board finds out about my past, I could lose my license. They'll shut my clinic down.
Maybe I can get you out of this. Tell me what they want.
I have to give some of my medical supplies to a merchant in the markets. They expect delivery today.
Give me your contact's name. I'll deal with this guy, whoever he is.
Deal with him, but won't they expose my past?
I'll make sure they don't tell anyone.
I was told to speak with a merchant named Morlan down in the markets. I really appreciate this, Commander. Thank you.
Don't worry. I'll take care of this.
Good luck, Commander. Be careful down there.
I guess I also feel on the subject of that it's probably better to do that through Ashley rather than giving the player the option to do that. Also, I think this is where I'm supposed to actually find another merchant to see if they have anything new. What is that?
Hello there. Welcome to Moorland's famous shop. You want many good supplies, yes?
Let me see what you have.
Oh, you will be pleased, I think. Very good things I have. You will see.
That's gonna be one of the better pistols we can get. Like a major upgrade. This is not an upgrade at all for shotguns. And we don't really need many gel upgrades. Oh well, we'll go ahead and get it.
Hello there. Welcome to Moorland's famous shop. You want many good supplies, yes?
You were expecting a delivery of medical supplies?
But I was told the doctor would be bringing them.
Change of plans.
A change, but the doctor... I don't... This is not right, human.
Shut up, Morlan. I told Baines you'd screw this up. What the hell's going on here? Who are you?
Leave the doctor alone.
We can end this if you just bring me those supplies. Otherwise, I'll start telling people about the doctor's little secret.
You're shutting down a medical clinic. What if someone needs treatment? What if you need treatment?
Hey, hold on. I'm just the middleman here. This is way more than I bargained for.
Thank you, human. It is good to see him humbled so.
What do you know about Baines?
I have never met him, human. I only worked with the one who spoke with the doctor.
Goodbye.
Yes, all right then. Good tidings to you, human.
First time I was here, I dropped a bundle in the casino got so mad I'd put my fist through one of the machines.
Everyone here seems so busy, so rushed. I wonder if they are happy.
Yeah, we're free Paragon now. Maybe she knows more about Baines.
Commander, how did things go?
He won't be bothering you anymore.
Really? That's a great relief, Commander. Thank you. I can't pay you for your help, but I can give you a discount on any supplies you purchase here.
The thug said he worked for a man named Baines. Sound familiar?
Baines? I wonder if he means Armiston Baines. We worked together a long time ago.
What can you tell me about him?
Last I heard, the Alliance military was contracting him for some research in the Traverse.
Perhaps Captain Anderson will have some knowledge about this man.
We'll see what the captain can tell us.
I wish I could tell you more. Is there anything else I can help you with, Commander?
Let me take a look at what you have for sale.
Of course.
What are you doing, Ellie? In the embassies. Can't remember.
I saw your Ferris report. If we had known anything about the Thorian, ExoGeni would never have been given the permits to start a colony there. Thank God the colony survived. We can't afford to have too many failures out in the Traverse. It's one of our major expansion regions.
You don't give a damn about the colonists. It's all just politics to you, isn't it?
We can't all be the hero who charges in to save the day, Commander. But we each serve humanity in our own way. You can't escape interstellar politics. It's part of the big picture, and sometimes it isn't pretty.
Just ignore him, Shepard. The ambassador's a little bitter sometimes. Comes with the job. Yes, Commander?
What do you know about Armiston Baines?
Where did you hear that name? Never mind, I don't want to know. Baines is dead. Has been for quite some time.
The people I spoke with seemed to think he was still alive.
It's not common knowledge. Military is keeping it under wraps. Baines was doing some high-level work for the Alliance. Stuff even I wasn't aware of. One day he turns up dead on a drifting scout ship. Everyone suspects it was foul play, but it was never officially investigated.
What can you tell me about the ship?
I don't know much about it. You should talk to Admiral Kahoku. One of his crews discovered Baines' body.
I spoke to Kahoku. He never brought it up.
You should mention Baines the next time you see him. See if he'll tell you anything. Is there anything else, Commander?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing, but you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
I think he might be in the main Citadel tower. It wouldn't hurt to look around here in case there's other quests or things. Things and quests. If I think he's where. I thought he's gonna be.
I really appreciate what you're doing for me. Please let me know as soon as you find any information on my brother.
Who's over here? Maybe he's not where I thought he would be. Hey, wrong button. Ah. I really wish that's one of the things that they had fixed in this version of the game, where you could actually like track. Oh yeah, that's the Rogue VI. We might be good enough to deal with that now, actually. If I already done that. Okay. I can't remember what the name of the actual admiral was.
You are unlike the other Krogan I have met, Rex. You do not share the bloodlust of your people.
When you're young, you go looking for every fight you can. You get older, you realize the best fights will find you.
He could be in the club, maybe. Yeah, where's the fast travel thing?
Please do not disturb the keepers.
There we go. That's hard, and I don't think that's.
Go away. Let me drink.
I might have to actually fucking look this up. It's really distracting to have the directional audio thing. Is Kohoku? He may just be detained someplace. Because he was in the Citadel Tower. I think this is probably his bad writing.
In
Oh,
other
yeah.
news, ExoGeni Corp is still denying reports that one of their survey teams has gone missing in the Hades Gamma Cluster. When asked why communication with the survey team was suddenly cut off last week, company officials refused to comment.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress. Logged. The commanding officer is aboard. Exo Presley stands relieved.
I'm going to make a list of all the side quests I need to go on. Stop the emergency. Feature cluster. Oh, great. You killed the first. Now let me second. I don't know what the first was. I put the moon. I wish I could. Again, Hades Gamma Cluster. I had to do the exact same thing. I shouldn't have to. they're kind of grouped together a little bit by like there's two things in Hades Gamma. Maroon C are next to each other. Okay, so kind of just in order. Horsehead stuff kind of last, although I think it's not last on the list. It's near the bottom. Okay, we got and so that's Cheska. Okay, where we need to go. Damn it. Wrong button. I'm gonna take Tally because we'll take the OTT. Actually, that should be a thing, OTT. Because there's like OTP, which is one true pairing, but like there's also like the one true trio, which is actually probably more of a convention than. Because I mean, when we talk about OTP, like we're like that's often debatable, whereas there's a lot of fiction. The one true trio is fairly well defined in most cases. Like Star Trek is Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. Harry Potter, Ron, Hermione, and Harry. I think in other Star Trek series it's a little more debatable. Like, I mean, like in TNG, I wouldn't consider like TNG is more the headliners. And even then, I'm not sure if I would consider Jonathan Frakes to be, or Riker to be like a headliner per se. I mean, he kind of is. I mean, he's treated as one. Because usually it's Patrick Stewart, Brent Spiner, and Jonathan Frakes are like the headliners. Um, but like they're the headliners. They're not really a trio. Like you'll see Picard interact more with Data than you'll see Riker interact with Data. There's no interplay between the three of them. So I wouldn't say that TNG has a one true trio. I probably could say the same about kind of any other Star Trek series besides TOS. At least of the ones that I've seen. Like only TOS really had the one true trio convention in place. Now, granted, Mass Effect is still kind of debatable because it's very ensemble. I also think that the interplay between Shepard, Tally, and Garrus would probably be more interesting to see in a in like a TV show or well, TV show really. But did the opposite of the effect I intended. Okay, there we go. This is the boosters. Now we're landing in the valley, which is exactly where I don't want to be. Dang it, gravity stopped working. I need to stop working long enough for the booster to recharge. I don't think there's really much information on the recharge. How the hell do we get over there? No, 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 no. Stop that. Great, now we're up there. Really? Oh, come on. I mean, we're so damn close. Get close. We're so darn close. I don't even know what accent that is. Ready? Oh, here we go. Should have brought Liara. This is the anomaly? Really? 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 Appropriate data disk. Okay, now I gotta get all the way back. Okay, see. Damn it. Oh, I just need to. Or this hacking minigame because we have hacked the mineral.
You lead. I'll follow.
Looks deserted.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Especially since there's a bunch of
How horrible. The entire colony must have been transformed. Securing point.
this is gonna be fun.
I smell trouble.
I mean, she must have expected us to need a lot of aid. And salvage it by hacking it. Oh my god, that's a... But really? Well, it's interesting looking at this versus Dragon Age 2. I think like it's interesting because I think in this game like there's a relative amount of variety in the reused locations and little things that they can move around. I think the problem with uh, uh, Dragon Age 2 is that maybe the environments weren't generic enough. Like they added stuff to them that makes them distinctive enough that you can tell they're being reused. Whereas like in the original Dragon Age, like there's generic forest, there's generic cave or whatever.
Heads up!
And there's some like interesting little things. Here to make it have a different look and feel. Okay, what's the point of this? They might as well just seal this area off. Because there's nothing in there at all. Not items, not enemies, nothing. Colonial Pioneer Team really consists of more than a few dozen specialists. It's clear that none of them have survived. The Cerberus group has a lot to answer for here. Okay. There's nothing here left, just the terminal that we already examined. Yep, okay. This one we already went through. Ah, okay, we didn't already go through here. There just weren't any husks outside for some reason. Oh, that's just you guys, okay. Oh. Or one up there? Might be one up there. Yep, it's kind of like chicken with its head cut off.
Perimeter clear.
Really? Really? Oh, come on. Kind of weird. It's only like one location where you actually get any information, and it's kind of bad connection to servers. Investigate samples. Got it. How do we get? How do we return to Normandy? Okay, X button. We already investigated all this.
Looks like we've got an active distress beacon on the planet below, Commander. No message, just a locator signal.
Another kind of Eden planet or garden planet. HRX ready is recovered. Okay. This is the most identical to the other planet. What? Oh, come on. Oh. Hey, it feels like good. There we go. Come on, come on. Oh, these are bogeys. Those more husks. Right? Or 4 creepers. And they're 4 creepers. Meet the creepers, digging deeper. Yeah. And the funny thing about the whole half XP from using the Mako, like it makes sense to think that from a design standpoint. The thing is, the game is not at all communicated to the player. It's more of a common tale set than actually anything else. I don't know. I don't know how we tell how close we are to being encumbered. Like I don't see anything. I don't know what these symbols mean. And that's the money. That's good. It's just med kits. And that middle one is like 87. It's not like 87 out of something. It's just 87. So
Rescuers? Oh, thank God. See? I told you somebody would come to investigate that signal. My name is Dr. Ross, Chief Exogeny Researcher at this facility. We've been trapped in this room for days. We're almost out of food and water. You got here just in time.
I need to know what's going on. Why is this place crawling with Thorian creepers?
How do you know about the Thorian?
I know what Exogeny was up to. I saw what they let the Thorian do to those colonists, so I destroyed it.
Our secret's out then. No point in my lying. You already know the worst. The creepers here were created using altered samples from the specimens on Pharos. We discovered a way to turn them into docile, obedient servants. Everything was going fine until a few days ago. Then all the creepers suddenly went berserk. Only a handful of us made it back into the safety of this room.
Any idea why they turned on you?
Maybe there was still some kind of link between the creepers and the Thorian back on Pharos. The Thorian was unlike any other life form we've ever studied. I can't explain how, but maybe when it died, it somehow set off the creepers here.
Why didn't you send a clear message asking for help? All we had was that signal from the emergency beacon.
This is a closed communications base. Exogeny was worried about someone on the project selling secrets to a rival firm or reporting our work to the authorities. We have no direct communication with the outside, only the emergency beacon. It sends a general distress signal to the Exogeny site on Pharos. They're supposed to send a team to respond inside of 24 hours, but it sounds like they had problems of their own.
Any chance some of the other people at the base might still be alive?
I doubt it. Too many creepers out there. They never stood a chance. We're the only ones left.
I've heard all I need to.
Look, I know what we did here was wrong. I'll admit that. But it's over now. There's no sense reporting this to the authorities, right?
You were in charge of this project. The safety of the staff was your responsibility. They trusted you, and you betrayed that trust.
Be reasonable. I didn't mean for this to happen. Besides, how does it help anyone if I end up in jail? Normally Exogeny would have my back, but it sounds like they're going to have their hands full cleaning up the mess on Pharos. But I've got money. A nice little emergency fund I set up. It's yours if you let us go.
the renegade is I should kill you right now. And I can't do that. And okay is kind of like the middle ground, I guess, kind of. I mean, there is a degree of pragmatism to, like, okay, like, we need where we can get to deal with, um, Saren. And you can put this to good use, basically, kind of pragmatism in a way. They're just like moral principles, which is, you know, but I don't think that, like, this isn't exactly like, they didn't know these things would become as dangerous as they did. And, like, what they're doing here isn't probably quite as unethical as what they're doing on Pharaohs, like, literally letting the colonists become infected with the Thorian and just seeing what would happen. Like, that's messed up. What they're doing here is just experimenting with this, and they probably did roughly the best they could in terms of trying to be safe about it.
Deal. Get the hell out of here.
You made the smart choice, Commander.
And to go to the feature. This is the one we can land on. A Probian data disk. This looks like a Oh. A few children's toys and some ragged clothes set inside the top of their mine mill, along with a propane data disk. Yep, this is kind of the ultimate, what the heck's Arachni?
Looks like Cerberus has other bases on this world, Shepard.
No indication of a difficulty, just... Okay, this is hard. That is totally an information, that's an information fail. So we know how difficult it is, and we know how much Omnigel we need. It's probably we're using Omnigel. I think one of the easier planets to navigate. Okay, level up. That's the ones, the forends or the husks? Or more Rachni? I think it's just Rachni. There we go.
Let's head to that next base, Shepard. This is my kind of mission.
I'm glad I brought Rex along for this one because he's certainly enjoying himself. I think after this one, we're going to take a break. This one does have husks, okay.
Take cover!
Okay. The heck? I'm knocked out, apparently. Okay, so these guys don't literally come out of nowhere.
Time to get Kahoku some payback.
There's Kahoku. Check for pulse, but find none. Ammo Kahoku is dead. By the ferocity of the creatures, he was sealed, and if there are no signs of trauma on his corpse, the needle marks in his arm suggest a different means of execution.
Shepard, over there. It's Admiral Kahoku.
I guess Cerberus found him after all.
The 2 generations, it has more slots. Better tech and biotic protection, less shields and less damage protection. This might help us I Physics threshold and smash damage. I think it might level out things a little bit, maybe. I think Predator 6 was the one that I... Hades' dog now is okay. Why am I suddenly out of... I did very smooth this time. I'm supposed to wrap up the this quest arc and also apparently oh, look at... You were just too silly. It's like to bury your head in my arms.
Let's get moving. No sense.
Checking out my notes. Has it been a good note taker? You approve. Modified Solarian. Servicer had an identification tag for Captain Varsin. Okay. But this is a Cerberus soldier? No, it isn't. Unclear how he came into Cerberus. I mean, granted, it may not have fully built out the lore at this point. But I mean, if they change the race of, like, one character, why can't they... I mean, although that may have literally been a bug or something. I understand why there was a, XP reducer for using the Mako, but I also understand why they got rid of it. One, there wasn't enough information to convey that there was a XP reduction, and two, it just kind of feels like it's discouraging you from using the Mako, even in sections where you're kind of meant to use a Mako. I don't know if they also did some other things to kind of rebalance it so that maybe certain enemies that are kind of I don't know. Because there also are like a lot of enemy types that are. Oh. Is everyone here a sniper? Exactly a good spot for snipers. Like you need to be have high ground if you're gonna be a sniper.
Here it comes.
Okay. Especially push for recipe buttons and alarm chimes. The optical database is flashing itself. Quickly copy as many files as you can to your hard seat's internal computer. If memory wiped, the computer shuts down. The files are sure to be encrypted, but you've got time to craft them. Yeah, check the guy who has like all the permits and such. Also, I can.
Looking for supplies?
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
This one has less DPS and less. The only real thing is it's it's interesting. So the Onyx for light armor. Has a new upgrade, but not that would have been useful on against the Forian thing. I think we're gonna see what they have on the Bavaria first. I have a whole ton of like sevens. I can't really. So we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more side quests to deal with. That'll be in a couple hours. Which I don't think we have any critical role stuff going on tonight, so we can shoot as much as we want after supper time. So there's a bunch of things you can do. It'll take just a few seconds of your time. All of other equally optional things that may take you a bit longer and involve a bit more stuff. But regardless of all that, thank you for watching.